Rebecca? Here. Karen? Here. Howard?
Here.
Rick?
Here.
And Terry? Here. And I'm here, we are all here. Okay, first order of business is building permit approval. Who wants to bring that?
Everything seems to be in order, all the paperwork's here, and I make a motion to approve the building permit for Jake Winterfeld.
And we have a second.
I'll second it.
All right, I have a first and a second. All in favor? Aye?
Uh,
Aye. All right, motion approval pass. All right, next, Second Street Road project.
I know you talked about doing the church, Apostolic Church parking lot at the last meeting. I don't know if you voted absolutely not to do it or not. But I know there was discussion about being the church property, but it's actually all town easement. And actually the easement is the very front of the beacon is the line. So actually about 3 or 4 feet into the sidewalk walking up to the church is town property. So, and that's also adjacent to the beacon, which they let us use their parking when we have an event, and I think we should do it. Now, I know we've done projects for the Methodist Church. I know when I was administrator, we either put the asphalt or paid for half the asphalt that's there now, or we paid to have it sealed. I don't remember which. But I know we put a whole new parking lot across the street from the church. It was done for church parking, even though it's town property. So, the Apostolic Church doesn't ask for anything, and I think we ought to be fair when we do that. So while I was looking at the easements on the road, and also I had someone approach me about wanting to widen 3rd Street, the part we're gonna do, and I started looking at those easements. So I'm thinking that we might offer to the tenants, when we put a new road in, that we offer to the property owners the option.
Adjacent property owners.
Yes, that are on that road, an opportunity to asphalt their easement. So if you go up this street, Michael Winsky would be first. So if he wanted to, he could ask, his easement goes to about maybe 10 feet away from the house, I think. Then Terry's property is, she has a concrete pad on her garage. Half of that concrete pad is on the easement, so they could actually take the asphalt up to the driveway and then go straight to the corner and have parking on the easement part of her property. And then Teresa would also be involved in that if she wanted to do asphalt on her side. The other two would be the Beacon, the old Turner House, which really we're doing most of that easement anyway, and then the other two houses on the west side of the road. Oh, one house, the last house would have a driveway. And then I talked to Jeremy Derflinger and Nick Veenstra, and both of them would be interested in they would like to have that widened anyway, but they would love it if they could asphalt on both sides of those. So, it's one thing I think we can do for the people in town as we do new streets. So,
Becca, is there any problem with us? I mean, we've done easement work before. We did all the gravel and had things done for easement work. Is there any problem with doing easement work if we want to?
From a legal standpoint, as long as what you're paving is the town's easement, and as long as the property owner doesn't object to that, then I don't think it's a problem from a legal perspective.
Thank you. So, that being said, I mean, so do we know if the contractors that are currently here working, if they would be willing to include doing that work now too, or?
yes, as a matter of fact,
Which I understand this would be part of the grant, the town would have to pay for
Right,
this.
right.
Yes.
so when, I don't know, it's been about a month now that I helped the church down there get an estimate for doing that asphalt. They'd like to take out the sidewalk and make it asphalt all the way out because it's a short parking area. And so the company that's doing it gave them an estimate, and I talked, I've been, to get that estimate, I've been talking to the VP of construction, Wayne Anderson. And so he texted me this morning and said, are you gonna do the church or not? You need to know because you're gonna start breaking asphalt tomorrow. And so they said, as long as they know tomorrow what to do, they can get it done.
Okay. Any thoughts, Rick?
I think you're just trying to skirt around the system so that you can get what you want done. And I believe that we should stop.
What do you mean by skirting the system? They're here working, that's town property? We're not asking them
It's
to.
not town property, it's town easement.
It's still
the
town
property.
has the rights on the
Town has
easement.
the right
Yes.
to do things on the easement, but what you're really doing is improving
Town,
private property.
town, we're improving
Am I
town.
wrong or am I right, Rebecca, on this? Really, an easement is owned by the homeowner, but is accessible by the town, is that correct?
That is correct. In
So-
addition to that, it's important that we give it context though. So what you said is accurate. The property owner owns and controls it, but the town does have access to it. In the event where you're gonna pave it for a purpose that is beneficial to the town overall and for the town's use of its easement, and the property owner doesn't object, then from that, under those conditions, there's not a legal concern or a legal reason why you couldn't do that.
Right, I understand that.
Okay, I just wanna make
Okay.
sure that I.
Then if the
advise.
property owners don't object, there's no, we're
Yeah.
not legally doing anything we shouldn't be doing.
But I think that Rick's other point though is just because legally something is permissible, whether or not that's something you want to do is a separate conversation.
Oh, right. right, I agree with that, but I do think this is improving the town. So that's why I'm interested in doing it. Now what,
So improving, to go back to what Howard originally said, we could just have, maybe Mike Berlinski might want his done, so how does that improve the town?
that improves the town by making it look better. That's my feeling anyways, is that it improves the looks, the overall looks of the town, and then in turn, improves values in the town.
And nobody, maybe
mean-
nobody wants it.
Yeah, maybe nobody wants it done. I'm just saying that, in my opinion, things would look nice if they were blacktopped. I'm not trying to skirt anything, I'm just thinking, but if you wanna wait and we could wait and it'll cost more, yeah. Cause you seem to be interested in things that cost more.
No, I'm interested in not doing it at all, which would cost a lot less.
Well, I understand that in this
Okay.
case, and I'm sorry,
Okay. So-
back to point.
What are you saving the money for?
I didn't say I was saving money, I said I'm not spending it, putting pavement on people's private property. That's what I'm saying.
If we have to pay for half of it, and the town has to go back through the easement,
Not-
then do we get to have it all flat? You gonna put it back the way we paid for it, or are you just gonna cut a tunnel through it?
Did I say half? Pay half, I meant.
No, because if it's easement and we're paying for it, we're paying for it.
You're paying for all of it?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's cheap.
So,
I don't know why people wanna, we don't have the Bank of Mount Ayr. We need
Yeah.
to give the money back to the community.
yeah, I mean, this was just something to
I don't know,
Okay.
well,
improve town and,
My opinion is we table it to another time, you guys
You wanna
decide
table
what you wanna
everything.
do.
You know, when I had my garage driveway, cement, they were here working, I asked them to do the driveway. The town, say, would not let me cement to the road, because they said that was easement, and I could not do that. So in that instance, the town said, we're in charge. Well, now you're trying to say that the homeowners are in charge, but they would not let me cement to the road. So now I'm gonna have cement to here, and the road to here, and there's gonna be hardly enough room to get a mower, and this little piece of grass that's gonna be between the cement and the pavement. So, just a for instance, that's what I was told the town. They're not letting, because it's theirs.
And how many cities and state projects do you see where they don't finish up to somebody's driveway anyway? But if your dad doesn't want it, that'll save us a lot of money. If Penny
nobody's
doesn't
saying
want
they
it,
have
that'll
to
save a
have
lot
it.
of money.
just like when we did the gravel and had the gravel worked up and put in new gravel. Mike didn't want it done, so we didn't do it there. We're not saying anybody has to have it.
That's only the roads you're working on.
Yes,
Yeah, just those two roads are the only places that are getting work done right now.
and my guess is next year probably Marion Street will get done, which it would give you an entire driveway.
I'm good with my driveway.
I knew you would.
Well, I'm just saying,
I'm
it's not,
just making a
it's
point.
not the same for all the residents, so all the residents don't get the same, equal thing to that because of the roads. Like Jacob will never get that because he's on the other side of the highway.
So, all right. So what are we gonna do here?
What's the cost of the church parking lot? Anybody said that?
6,000.
That's minor to what you usually spend.
I'll give you more to report tomorrow.
there. I'll see you there.
So, I make a motion, we do it, because I think it's giving back to the town, and it's gonna improve the town in the long run.
So when you say you're motioning to do it, are you motioning to do it for any easement property on the roads that are being done now that homeowners want, adjacent homeowners
Yes,
want it done?
yes.
So my question to you is how, if we need to know by tomorrow, how will we know by tomorrow what homeowners are interested in what are not?
Then I'll probably have to go door to door.
If you're willing to do that, to find out,
Except for Mikey. Mikey doesn't like me anymore.
um,
You can talk to Mikey.
to Mike. Um, uh, I think it would save a lot of money versus them have to come back. Do we know how much it would save versus them having to come back?
Oh, the only thing they told me was consider.
Which it usually is, because anytime you have them come back, there's, equipment charges and all of that stuff is included in that, and the equipment is already here. Already coming here.
Who's gonna seal these driveways?
Are they willing
Teresa, who's
to,
gonna seal them and maintain
are they
them?
willing to do everybody on
On
those
Second
two
Street.
streets?
Second Street and
So
the,
one block of
While they're,
One block.
while they're still here,
yes,
they are, the construction company's willing to do everybody if they want it done.
if I let them know tomorrow. And they're gonna start on one section, one end or the other, so I probably have a little bit of extra time as they're going.
All right, so I got a motion, right?
Yeah,
Do I have a second? I'll second it. All right, got a first and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. All right, next. So I wanted to talk about, I had some questions for Rebecca about the Second Street property. Now, you say that you do have some meetings for next week.
One guy told me he would try later this week,
Okay.
and another guy, haven't heard what day yet, but within a day or within a week or so.
Will you have something to vote on at the next meeting?
So,
Think so, okay. Rebecca, my question to you, I got a question. So, I know originally this whole property, we wanted to do all these things. We had an idea. The first thing was buying it to clean up that horrible property, that house, get that house down that is no good and full of animals, etc. And as long as we were doing that, there were other ideas that came up. Did we want to use it? Did we want to pave it? Did we want to gravel it for parking? Those two trees probably need to come down. Did we want to, we thought the garage was good. Did we want to, do some work to make the garage look nice? Rick had concerns the garage wasn't. So this kind of ballooned, but the primary goal was getting that house down, getting that moved and filled in. And it's seeming like this is ballooning kind of out of proportion, but because of also the costs that I'm not against a plan, I've never been against that plan. but the cost of the plan and the time it's taking to get the plan, and then the cost of having a project manager to tear down a house, I'm a little, it seems like it's getting out of control. If we said we just wanted to get the house down, get it cleaned up, the hole filled in, and that's all we wanted to do, what would we have to do then?
I'm not sure if I understand the question. What would you have to do from what perspective? From a legal perspective?
Yeah, from a legal perspective, I mean, what if all we wanted to do was take down the house? And like I said, of course, fill in the hole, you know, get that out of there, fill in the hole. What do we have to do? Do we have to do this where we get this whole plan thing done? What do we have to do? What are we required to do?
So the answer depends a little bit on what the overall cost of this is. And
Okay,
bear with me just a minute,
Yep.
because I understand that's probably a frustrating answer. But please understand that I don't know anything about the scope of this project. I have no idea how large this structure is or what would be entailed in taking it down.
right,
So with that said, you would need to consider what you anticipate the overall cost to be. And then there are thresholds of what you have to do depending on the cost involved, right? So if it's more than a certain amount, then you need to obtain 3 quotes. If it's more than another certain amount, then you have to actually solicit sealed bids. Now, I don't think that you're probably anywhere near that sealed bid requirement level. However, you know, you can always adopt a process that is more involved or more transparent than what the statute requires. So if, for example, let's say that you apply the public works requirements to this, right? Which it's a little bit debatable whether or not this constitutes a public works project because it's demo. But just for the sake of this conversation, let's say it does. So that would mean that that threshold number is $25,000. And let's say you're not sure if it gets there or not, so you could certainly go ahead and operate as if it were. And then if it's not, maybe you took an extra step, but that's totally okay. Does that make sense?
so what are those thresholds? I want to know what the thresholds are for a demolition project, for a town to do demolition on a structure that they own.
So I don't think that you're gonna meet the threshold on that in order to have to if you're not considering it a public works project. If you're considering it a public works project, which would be to err on the side of caution, then that threshold number is $25,000.
Right, but if it's not public works, because I just wonder, because there's a statute for demolition.
Okay, you'll have to direct me to it.
Okay, I will, because I looked it up.
Okay, and there's a statute that
Yes,
tells you at
there is
what
a
point you
statute.
have to get quotes.
Yep,
Okay, then you know.
okay, yes, I'm pretty sure it's 50,000.
Okay.
So I just wanted to be sure. But at this point, because I mean, I really don't, at this point, like I said, it's kind of ballooning. And the primary goal was just to get that house down, get that cleaned up, filled in. And if it's just a grass lot, it can absolutely be used as parking during, park, you know, events and stuff. That's fine. I mean, it's fine as far as I'm concerned, but I just I wanted to know this, and I will direct that, I will look that up and get that to you, and we'll talk and see exactly, you know, where we're at. But I'm glad you are moving
So
forward.
I believe you are correct, it's $50,000.
Right, and 3
So-
quotes.
So we are, with tearing down the house, whether you move the electric or just take the electric off, remove the gas line, you're at $50,000.
I know we're close. Yeah,
Okay.
I know that.
Is that with the concrete?
That is with the concrete
and the garage?
removed. That's with the concrete removed.
Well, why can't we just tear down the building and do nothing else, and then let the next board.
Well, we would have to fill it in.
Well, yeah,
So, part of the problem being, you have to fulfill your intent. So what is your intent? Is it just to tear it down?
that's
Because,
mine.
That's my intent.
because then we can't change our mind and go, oh, well, maybe we wanna do
No.
something else.
I wanna
Because
leave
it
for the
doesn't
next
work
board.
that
I wanna leave it to the next board. That's what I want, I just wanna get it down, get it cleaned up and filled in. Yep, that's all I wanna do.
Leave the concrete, leave the garage, leave the trees, everything.
But I am definitely interested in hearing this. I mean, I'm glad you're making progress.
I am making progress, it's just slow.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Okay, and I will get back to you. All right, do we have anything else to talk about? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
To adjourn.
All right, I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.